Hello, everyone. Thank you for being here. I would like to briefly start this press conference, by thanking our previous coach, Onur, for his work, for his dedication towards Cercle in the last months. We were patient because we believed we could turn things around. I think this was something important to take the decision of being patient until the last week. It has been a very frustrating season for everyone, where we have had good performances, good moments throughout the season, but the results have just been not good enough, not what we expected. We tried everything to find solutions to bounce back throughout the season, but at some point it became unsustainable and we had to make the decision to change the coach. We believe that we have a team that should not be in the relegation playoffs, that we are able to compete against any team in the league. It's a real shame for us to be in this situation because the ambitions of this project are nowhere near being in the relegation playoffs. Our ambition is to be as competitive and as consistent as possible in the league while we develop young talents. And it's not compatible with being in the relegation playoffs. But even if we are not where we planned to be and not in the playoff that we would like to be, we want to look forward. We want to close the season as strong as possible. That's why we have made the decision to appoint Lars Friis as our new head coach. The next 6 games are very important for us. We take them as 6 finals. It's really important for us to, first of all, be mathematically safe as soon as possible, but to also set the tone and set the foundations towards next season. It's very important to have strong performances and results on the playdowns, to have this positive momentum to carry to the preseason and eventually carry also towards the next season. Like I said, looking forward and speaking a little bit more about Lars in particular. Lars is a very experienced coach that has been working in different countries, in different environments. He has worked from academies in Denmark all the way to Brentford in England, and also being the coach of Sparta Praga in the Champions League. He's a coach that will bring structure, that will bring intensity, positive leadership, maturity and personality to our team. He is a perfect fit to Cercle's principles of play, values and identity of developing young players to the highest level. We have been in contact with Lars for several months and we believe he is a perfect coach to help Cercle take the next step in our ambitions, in the vision we have as a project. And this means also that Lars has been following Cercle for several weeks, for several months, which means he knows the team well and has a clear plan to impact the team straight away. We are 100% sure that he will have a big effect in the short term results, but also in our long-term vision, which is as equal as important for us than the short-term results. We are very eager, very keen to attack these last weeks of the season. We want to show ourselves and to show the rest of the league as well our quality, that we don't belong there. And we are looking forward to seeing what Lars can bring to the team. I would like to give Lars a warm welcome, and I give you the floor. Welcome, Lars.
Thank you so much, and thank you for the opportunity to work here in Cercle. Also digging into the Belgium League, which I have been followed, of course, during our conversations, but also with the Belgium clubs doing good compared to where I'm from in Denmark. Also in European competitions, they do very well and are part of it. So it's something we, as Danish coaches, also are looking into. Saying that, we also have a history of a lot of Danish coaches, sporting directors, and not least Danish players in Belgium. And we still got players in the league, which I have been a part of their development. So I look forward also to see their faces again when we meet them around. It's a pleasure to be here. I have to say, a couple of years ago, I for sure noticed when Cercle went into the European competition, not even to be a part, but to compete in Europe. This was something I was looking into, because the way you did it here in Cercle was different in so many let's say teams, because it was with a aim of bringing young players to show themselves into the European League also, and this is what the project is all about. There's a lot of potential in this team. There's a lot of quality in this team, and I'm sure we're looking into a great future, but it's not enough with quality and potential. We need to work hard every single day, and this is what I have been focused at the early beginning. The structure, the environment, how we perform every single day, because I'm a big believer that it's not on Sundays only we win the games. It's in between the games. So we need to train well, practice well, and this is where I feel I can make a difference also. From my own perspective, Luciano introduced me. I have had more or less every job, from grassroots all the way up to the highest point with Champions League. Been in Danish clubs, academies, been abroad, Czech Republic and England. Also been working with the Danish Football Association. So I have a good foundation of the steps to take as football player, but also as a coach. So I'm really happy, and I'm also proud for my way of growing up as a coach. Otherwise, just want to say that I think, as I said, the potential here is huge, but it's not enough. We need the hard work. We need to deliver, and that's on daily basis. So I'm really happy to be a part of this family. And look forward to the coming weeks. And as Luciano say, we look at the last games of the season as finals. And when you play finals, we are looking forward to the finals. I have been in finals before. Some of you have probably also been in a final. And then when you walk into a final, it's for a reason of winning. So our mentality from today is to achieve things instead of avoid things. Thank you.
Thank you, coach. Jullie vragen.
Yes. Okay. Mr. Friis, you have been the assistant of Brian Priske, who was a coach in Belgium. Have you had contact with him and asking him about Cercle before signing here?
I have not been in contact with Brian about this specific club here, but I can tell you there's a lot of other colleagues where they have had a good spell in Belgian football where I have been in contact with. But Priske, no, we have not talked to him about it.
Which ones did you have contact with?
Oh, but there has been a few, to be honest. Also, my former sporting director in Anderlecht, Jesper Fredberg, Jes Torup, who was in Ghent. He was also down here, and we spoke briefly about that. So that's two. A few players who has been here also, of course. So yeah.
Yeah, it's a little miracle that you are the first Danish coach here in Cercle Brugge, because 55 years ago there was the first player, and 1 year later came Morten Olsen, who is football god in Denmark. Did you have contact with him or before or in any situation?
Actually, he was in the federation when I joined in there, and Morten Olsen actually started up the brilliant talent developing in Danish football with inspiration from Belgium. So he brought in some good ideas from what he experienced in the Belgium way, and but from now on, no, I have not been in contact with Mr. Olsen. But yeah, I know, I'm aware. Benny Nielsen and Morten Olsen was the two first guys. Yeah.
After Prague, you was at home 1 year, almost 1 year. There was a reason. It was a sabbatical, or it was you had a reason to have no club this season.
Yeah, I think sometimes you need to become better. I think actually you need to try to strive to become better every single day, but sometimes you need to do something else than you normally do. So for me, it was a good time to reflect. It was a good time to find out what is the next move. I got some options already a few days after, but it was for me not the right thing. So when there was clubs coming in, because there was option, it was not the right thing. Then, as Luciano said, we had a conversation going on for a while, and once I was presented to what this is all about, it was very interesting. I think the project, the way they want to present themselves, and also the line of how to develop and so on. So there was no, it was actually the plan all the time. I cannot say it was the plan for going for 9 months or 10 months. It could be 6, it could also be 12. So it was not like I need this and this and this. The most important was not getting a job as fast as possible, because I think for me it has been a really, really good break. Meeting colleagues, following clubs and other coaches, studying the game, become more wise, and then make reflection of the past.
You saw the game Sunday in Anderlecht. You were surprised of what you saw about the performance of the team?
No, I was not surprised about the performance, because I have seen the performance like this actually many times. What the difference was this time, as Luciano also said, was the output. So it was actually 3 points and the benefit from a good performance. When I also spoke to Luciano about it, I don't see a team here. I don't see players being tired. I don't see players being down, walking around with heads down, bad attitude. I see the opposite. So I see a team who really want to fight for each other. They need the small margin and miss the last bit of quality to get the end product. I think you saw it the other night in against Anderlecht that there was a little bit more, let's say, luck, but also quality in what they did. The performance, I have seen that many times, the effort, but also in some of the games with 0 points. Yeah.
Cercle is playing power play. Is that also your kind of football, or you have other intentions?
No, that's 100% the way I am born and raised. My coach's career journey started at FC Midtjylland back in the days, and I was actually lucky enough to be one of the founders of the academy at that time, and that was basically what we were basing everything on. And for those of you who are sort of following FC Midtjylland now, you can see the power football is back there. We did it in Sparta as well. We did it also in Brentford at times. But the power, the vertical direction, the pressing, this is the way I'm a big believer in. And then with small adjustments and matureness to execute the game offensively and defensively.
Nog vragen?
You already had contact with Jimmy de Wolf, who was doing the game in Anderlecht, and specifically what we saw, he changed from 4 defenders to 3 defenders, whereas his predecessor, Mr. Onul Sinel, always played 4. Was that a result of your small meeting with him on Teams last week?
We had some good talks and shared ideas. Jimmy is a top man and a smart guy, so he knows what he's doing also. So I don't think there was, let's say, a lot of upside down, but we had the same ideas of how we look into it. Whenever it's with 3 or 4, I think there are adjustments in somewhere else also in the team. But what he did was it the right thing against Anderlecht? That's for sure. So of course this is also for consideration in the future.
Luciano, you told us you had already a long time contact with Mr. Friis, so it was your intention to change something, or?
To be honest, this is something that for me is normal. We need to be ready. We need to be working in a succession plan all the time, because you never know when you can lose a coach. It might be because of the decision of the club, but it might also be that a coach is successful and another club comes and takes him. And I have to be ready for those moments as well. Same as with the players, we are active in the market. We have conversations, we watch players. We also do the same with coaches. We watch coaches, we have conversations with coaches, and this is something that is an ongoing process for us. During the season. It's not that we only start speaking with coaches when we are trying to change. So for us, this is something normal, and this is part of the succession plan that we have to work with during the season.
Coach, is the first time you are in Brugge, or you know already the city and the environment, or?
I have to say it's the first time that long. I have been here as an opponent, but you know, that's at the hotel and you don't see anymore else than the buffet. I know it's a very, very beautiful city. And all my colleagues, especially the guys who's local, they tell me every single time they got the opportunity to tell me how beautiful it is. So when we will have a day off and so on, I will for sure spend the time walking around in the city to have a good look.
Yes, as opponent of what team then?
Sorry?
You said I was here as opponent.
Yeah.
With what team?
With FC Midtjylland back in the days. We played
against
at this stadium. Yeah.
You won or you lost?
Yes.
Yeah, you won.
Yeah.
Okay. Still one question. You come alone here, or in family, or?
I'm here alone. I have a girlfriend at home. She's working in the football industry also, so she's busy where she is. I got 2 kids, both grown up. My son is working as an analyst in the Danish Superliga. He's 20 years old, and my daughter is 23. She's studying. They are very busy and have their own life there, but one thing is for sure, they will be here as much as possible. I need them for support, so but I'm here on my own.
The focus only on football, so
that's the main thing, and that's the privilege when you're here, that you can focus. You don't feel guilty of doing something else when you're working out here until late.
How was the first contact with the players? You've seen him yesterday and today.
Was top. Miss a few players due to international jobs, but despite of that, of course, Monday morning, where you have been visiting Brussels and coming back with 3 points, everything is fine and people are smiling, and that was nice to see. But as I said, I feel a squad and also not least staff group full of energy. They're ready. They're ready to attack. They really want it, and I really like that. And the first 2 days also on the pitch, I think I have seen what I expected to see, but also what I tell you, I see a bunch of players who is delivering in performance, as you saw also Sunday night. Good effort, a lot of intensity, most important with a smile on the lips, positive, and also want to try making mistakes, but still just get over it and move on. But I also see a staff who's really, really good. And I have a big expectation also to the staff around what we can deliver together.